And one of my first interviews was E40 and the Click.
Oh,
Not just E40, but E40 and the Click. Yeah. Hurricane. You can come, it's hurricane. E40 came in, and it must have been like 20 of them.
Of course.
And like Sugar T was, tell me where to go. Tell me where to go.
E40.
He comes in, and like, is Sugar T ever called? I think that's his sister, I believe, and the whole crew. And it was intimidating, super intimidating, because I'm this little short nerd, and these super cool giant family comes in, and they couldn't have been nicer. They were just the nicest. So I record this interview in Bay Area home jams, and and it starts to, interviews start happening. You start developing your style as far as how to interview people, and what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and just kind of how it works, and just what people want from an interview, and I really kind of dissected what an interview is and what it should be.
I want to ask too, what methods did you start to incorporate or learn as you're in San Francisco and you're starting to develop your interview skill? What are you learning and what are you implementing into the interview?
Well, I think I don't know when I started to learn what. That's kind of a blur in my head, like what I specifically learned. But what I've learned overall is when you do an interview, you have to a long time ago, there was a statement made, and I don't know who said this statement, and there's some truth to it. The interview is all about the artist. Mm-hmm. But it's not. That's what I learned. It's not about the artist, because I think that was said back in the day when it was, there was 3 radio stations in the market and 4 TV stations, and there was no internet. So an artist could walk in to any station in the country, and everything he said was going to be an exclusive, and all your listeners would be like, oh my God, really? Or now, there's almost zero exclusives, because anything that they're going to talk about, for the most part, they've already tweeted or it's already been posted.
It's already known.
Yeah. But it's just, basically there's no exclusives. So the only real thing you have in an interview that's exclusive is you or what you and this artist create as a bond. So every time an artist comes in, you have to bring them into your world. Something has to happen in that little moment that can't happen down the road. Otherwise, you're just a random voice doing a brown bag interview, which a brown bag interview means basically, sometimes people do interviews like on the red carpet, and they'll take the interviewer's voice out, and they'll just put the send it to radio stations all around. They'll just put their questions in there. I don't want any part of that. I just think it's awful.
Yeah.
I want it to be my interview. So I had to find things that stuck with me. The name JoJo on the radio. The ghost thing, that's a big one for me. The paranormal thing. Mm-hmm. People, they know when they come in now to me that even if you hear me talking to an artist and I don't bring up the paranormal, it's because off air I've already asked them about it and they've got nothing. So I just didn't waste the question.
Right.
Or if I just want to get it in there, here's something I'll do a lot. Like you have a trick for everything, well, not a trick, but there's a. Freddie, have you had a paranormal encounter? No, I haven't had one. Oh my God. Here's what I want you to do, Freddie. Next time you're on tour, I want you to stay in some haunted hotels and you got to report back. So if they say no, it just doesn't die there. So, and I've used that before, and just little things, you learn little tricks, and you have to be able to interview people. Like, so to wrap that part of it up, they have to come into your world. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you don't get credit for it.
Yeah.
It's just like Howard Stern, they're going into Howard Stern's world. Yep. And for the most part, you can't take any of those interviews and use them for you because it's so tailored to Howard.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping I do a similar, my own version of that, I guess that's the main thing I've taken from all this is bring them into your world.